Atleti have had enough of Barca. That's the front page of AS that dropped today. Since then, someone's been very busy on the Atlético Madrid official social media site, posting a lot, and I mean a lot. We've tried to pick kind of the best of it. Over the past few months, we've been subjected to a relentless smear campaign against one of our players. Calculated leaks, fake news, constant disrespect, the Kool-Aid version of the propaganda machine inventing little stories, phone calls before head-to-head clashes. But of course, it would never occur to us either to have the vice president of the referees on the payroll or to rely on political favours to register players. Respect and values. An offer's leaked and said that has been sent, but nothing has arrived here at Atlético. This is over. We're very angry, and this was our way of showing it. What's clear is that Atlético holds all the cards. The player is protected by a €500 million release clause and has a long-term contract until 2030, and we're counting on him for next season. Julián cannot be signed through a fixed fee paid over several years plus add-ons. It's €500 million in cash that would have to be deposited at La Liga headquarters. Agents live for this. It's normal. It's what they usually do because it's their job. The problem is Barcelona.
Take that.
Robbo and Gav, I don't get it. They were quite subtle there. What's happened?
I love a little bit at the end. Hey, it's not the fault of the agent. When the agent in this regard, who helps look after Julián Álvarez, also looked after Barcelona's sporting director, and I'm pretty sure, was okay with this news coming out in the way it did through Fabrizio Romano and whatnot. But then in the end, it's not the agent's fault. No. It's Barcelona's fault.
Yep.
Because that particular agent and that agency has a long-standing relationship with Atlético Madrid themselves. And you want to stay on their good side too, because you need each other. So look, agents are going to do their job. If Barcelona leaked this news, or the agents leaked the news that there was a €100 million offer, but there was no €100 million offer, and it doesn't matter because Atleti aren't going to entertain it anyway. All Atleti have to do is say, hey, we didn't receive an offer, or just say nothing, because you've got nothing to respond to if no offer actually came. I don't think 100 million is going to get this done from Atletico's Madrid's perspective. I do think at some point, if you're Argentina, if you're Lionel Scaloni, you're wondering, hey, Alvarez, maybe you should kind of say something here or give some sort of indication here. Because on the one hand, you're saying you're going nowhere and you're happy to stay here and you're much loved and you're key to our plans. But at the same time, some people, whoever they are pushing you in the other direction, and Barcelona want you, and there's a World Cup, and you want this wrapped up, I think, as quickly as possible. But I think that's the reality for players.
If you're Julián Álvarez, why wouldn't you want to go to Barcelona?
Well, you would.
So then how do you play this, considering your club has come out and said, well, you're not going unless it's 500 million?
Well, look, this flirtation has been going on for a while, it seems. It's not just now. And we chose to read this excerpts, but there were other things coming from Atlético Madrid that were quite funny.
Bad Bunny tickets.
Yes, and in exchange for Pedri, or in exchange for this player or that player. And while it is funny, and while they have taken this sort of hard position, does this mean that then Julián Álvarez is going to Barcelona? Because in the end, we have got to understand, as hard as it is, that these contracts that are in place and this transfer fees that are in place and these release clauses that are in place, they're all dependent upon the player. I like to believe that there is power in a contract, old school as I may be. But apparently, if the player just says, nah, I want to leave, then the clubs lose negotiating power. And the longer this goes, and now Atlético Madrid have cornered themselves because they have said, this is not happening, it's over, this is our position. But what if Julián Álvarez says, no, actually, I don't want to stay. I want to leave. And you're forcing this through, and now Atlético Madrid are kind of going, well, we already played our hand.
Yes.
We already put our cards on the table. It's not happening, but the player says that he doesn't want to stay here. Julián Álvarez, actually, not Atlético Madrid, Julián Álvarez holds the cards. I believe in contracts, but nowadays contracts seem to be just circumstances and not binding at all.
Where will Julián Álvarez be at the start of the season, Gab?
Well, I just responding to what Ali said there. He's right. And I think at the same time, what could happen if Alvarez says this, because Atleti would then have the leverage of saying, all right, you don't want to be here. You have a contract for another 4 years. Obviously, you're not going to just not play football for 4 years. But then that can also be a marker that's laid down. Okay, we said no to 100 million. Because remember, there were other clubs that were interested in Julián Álvarez as well. Arsenal, funnily enough, were linked with him. Bayern were linked with him. If we've set the 100 million baseline, Atleti could be coming out and saying, all right, well, we'll never sell you to Barcelona. But hey, Bayern, if you can kick in 100, can kick it up to 110, get an attractive offer in place for Julián Álvarez. Let's face it, Barcelona, of course, still have those financial restrictions. They can probably offer Álvarez more money if it's about money. They can certainly offer Álvarez's agents more money to get the deal done. So it does complicate things a lot. In terms of where he's going to end up, I genuinely don't know. I mean, given how strongly Atleti came out with this, I don't see how much Barcelona can realistically raise the offer, given, again, they've got these restrictions, given that they just spent money on Anthony Gordon, and given that surely they need to bring in another alternative at center back as well. And then it becomes a question of, do you want to go and sacrifice Rafinha? Do you want to sacrifice Fermín López? Fermín López is injured, but do you want to sacrifice Dani Olmo? Do you want to sacrifice Ferran Torres, who's got a year left? They've got a lot of financial commitments coming up down the road as well. So they kind of have to thread the needle a little bit here as well.